Fatima lived in a beautiful village called Lakoi. She was a young woman known everywhere for her kind heart. Her skin was flawless and her eyes shone like diamonds. Fatima and Emeka had been together for 6 years, and Emeka loved her with all his heart. But one painful issue always shook their marriage. In Lakoi, having children was seen as the highest sign of value. The more children a woman had, the more respect she received. This belief tortured Fatima. Even though she and Emeka looked like the perfect happy couple, every day at the river, villagers whispered and laughed at women who had no children. Anyone who passed by with an empty womb became their source of entertainment. One day, Fatima watched as Ada and 2 other women approached the river. Ada had 8 beautiful children and was the leader of the women's group. "Too much beauty but no children," Ada said loudly, and the women burst into laughter. "It seems the Lord is angry with some women," Nkechi added. "I don't see the point of being pretty if you can't even give back to 1 child." Fatima heard every word, but she pretended not to. She quietly fetched her water and walked home, hiding the pain that burned inside her. She desperately wanted a child, one who would silence the village women and bring joy back into her heart. At home, Emeka always comforted her. He held her close and said, "Don't let their words enter your spirit. Children are blessings that come at the night time." But things grew worse. Emeka's mother, Mama Emeka, had no mercy. She expected 3 grandchildren by now, and her anger grew each year. "How long have you been here? Years, days, minutes, and still no child?" she shouted. "What kind of woman are you?" Fatima lowered her eyes, too hard to reply. She prayed at every prophet's house, hoping heaven would remember her, but nothing happened. Mama Emeka continued, "If your womb can't give us children, then leave so my son can marry someone better." The thought of leaving Emeka crushed Fatima. She had tried everything, yet nothing worked. One tense day, unable to endure the insults anymore, Fatima ran away. She wandered into a nearby forest without knowing where she was going. She just needed to escape. As the sun began to set, she reached a sacred tree, a place the elders warned everyone to avoid. They said lost souls lived there, and those who entered might never return. But Fatima was no longer afraid. She felt she had nothing left to lose. She fell to her knees before the tree and cried out, "I am drained and empty. I have been humiliated for not having a child. Please, if it is possible, give me a baby. I will do anything." At first, there was only silence. A small wind blew past the tree, and Fatima thought no one had heard her. She slowly stood up to leave, but then a warm whisper echoed behind her. Fatima turned and saw an elderly woman standing there. She wore a white robe, her silver hair glowed, and her eyes did not look earthly. The woman wiped her tears. "Who are you?" Fatima asked. "I am the servant of this sacred tree. Why are you crying, my daughter?" Fatima explained her pain, that without a child she was treated as worthless, mocked by the village women, and tormented by her mother-in-law. She said she was ready to offer anything for a baby. The old woman nodded. "You speak as if motherhood is the only measure of your worth. But you have beauty and a kind heart. Those are gifts too. Still, since you are determined, I will guide you, but the path ahead will not be easy." Hope lit up her heart. The woman pointed to a narrow trail. "Follow this path until you reach a strange tree with branches reaching the heavens and fruits hanging low. Take 1 leaf from it and return." Fatima walked deeper into the forest. The darkness increased, but her hope grew stronger. She reached the tree. It was glowing with bright leaves and enormous branches. She admired its beauty, picked a single leaf and started back. A soft whisper followed her. "Your choice comes with demands." She froze and asked what the demands were, but there was no reply. She hurried back to the old woman, who smiled gently. "Well done. Now listen. Plant this leaf in your garden and watch it. It will grow strangely, but it carries the answer to your cry. Patience will reward you." Fatima thanked her and rushed home. She planted the leaf and watered it daily. Time passed, and soon the plant began to grow, but in a twisted, curled way. Every new leaf felt like a step towards her dream. She even dreamt of a little boy with shining eyes who spoke lovingly to her before disappearing into thin air. Villagers noticed the strange plant and whispered that Fatima had turned to witchcraft. Mama Emeka even warned that the plant would bring bad luck. But Fatima stayed focused. She knew what she was protecting. One day, the plant glowed and its first fruit appeared, shaped like a golden pumpkin. Her heart raced. She took it inside. That night, she dreamt of the old woman again. "You have made me proud," the woman said. "The fruit contains life and the blessing of a child, but blessings come with conditions." "What condition?" Fatima asked. "If you want a child, eat the fruit. But know this, the child will be unique. His life will be tied to a soul beyond this world. Care for him well, for he will not belong fully to this world." Fatima was confused. "What do you mean?" "You will understand in time. If you accept this destiny, eat the fruit in the morning." The woman vanished. Fatima awoke and saw the glowing fruit on her table. She remembered all the years of pain, all the mockery from the village women. She ate the fruit and prayed quietly. A warm comfort filled her stomach. 3 weeks later, she felt something growing inside her. She was pregnant. Her joy was beyond measure. She told Emeka, who held her tightly with gratitude. Even Mama Emeka, who had always scolded her, smiled with relief. The villagers who mocked her were shocked. They whispered in confusion, not knowing her blessing came from the secret she carried. Her pregnancy grew smoothly, and every night she dreamt of the elderly woman, reminding her, "Your son will not belong only to this world." Fatima gave birth to a healthy baby boy with glowing eyes. She named him Chike. It was clear from the start that Chike was no ordinary child. He almost never cried. His eyes looked like they understood everything around him. As he grew, strange things happened. One day, during a sudden storm, Chike raised his hands and laughed, and the storm stopped. Villagers froze in shock. They whispered, "This child is blessed by the gods." Flowers bloomed when he walked past. Animals followed him like their shepherd. Fatima loved her miracle child, but she never forgot the old woman's warning. What did it mean that her son didn't belong to the earth alone? When Chike turned 6, Fatima returned to the forest, desperate for answers. "I am here," she cried. "Tell me the future of my son. Why is he so gifted?" The woman appeared slowly from the shadows. You have cared for him well, but his gifts come with a price. A time will come when he must serve the souls of this forest." "You mean he will be taken from me?" Fatima whispered. "He will choose his own path. But remember, he is not yours forever." The word stabbed her heart but gave her pride at the same time. Chike grew quickly, healing the sick and communicating with animals. At age 20, he came to Fatima and said, "Mama, I think it is time. I have dreamt of the forest calling me." Fatima lowered her head, tears flowing. She knew this day would come. "Do you know where you are going?" "I'll be fine, Mama. I will return," he said gently. That night, Chike left the village. The villagers watched silently, knowing they were witnessing something beyond their understanding. From that day on, the people of Lakoe told Fatima's story for generations. The story of hope, resilience, and a mother's sacrifice for a son born from mystery.